Hey guys, it's G. Eric Francis, and welcome back to the Irritation channel. It is about 10 to 10 on a Monday night, and the kids have gone to bed, and I wasn't going to do an episode for a few days, but a couple of things have come to mind. In the news recently in my hometown, a police officer who was sitting in his car, minding his business, was approached by someone, and if I understand the story correctly, the officer asked this person, "What's going on with your waist?" And this gentleman then pulled out a weapon and shot the officer in the head. A couple of days later, he passed away. When when I want to do this, I want to make people laugh as well as think. I think that I have a lot of things to say. I like to make people chuckle, and I hope that if people choose to watch these videos, they will at least say, maybe as a point, maybe he's just not talking just to talk. The person who did this was a person of color like myself. And it was similar to an incident in December of last year where two cops also, minding their business, were ambushed and both killed in their squad car. It's rough to see what's going on. I'm a strong believer that everything in life can be made or seen in a humorous fashion, because I think in a lot of ways when people laugh, people are relaxed. People open their minds up a little bit, because when you're relaxed, and you can learn something even within a joke. But I can't really joke about this one. Things like riots, and I know I've mentioned that in early episodes, or when people who we trust with upholding the law abuse that privilege and think that it's just open season, and they let their prejudices cancel out their duty, and they hunt down folks who may look like me, or hunt down women with my skin color, or automatically assume that we're guilty and they can get away with anything. It scares me because, it's my hope that I get to grow old and I raise my kids and I get to see them suffer like I do. But I think about this gentleman who got killed, and I read some information about his life, and he seemed like a decent person. He seemed like a decent cop. And then this person who supposedly shot him, had multiple offenses. Multiple offenses. It reminds me about a personal incident where my grandfather, who was such a wonderful human being, a man of God, someone who would give the shirt off his back, was brutally murdered in his own home and on his bed by someone who had multiple offenses as well, who he tried to help out, and instead this person broke in and killed him. Earlier today, while I was reading about all this stuff, I saw an article. There was like a posting on a social media website about a police officer, just a hypothetical situation where a police officer didn't come home, and then they got mad at the rioting and the Lives Matter thing, and it hurt me because it shows how incredibly divided we are and how blindly loyal we are to one section of the human race instead of being loyal to the entire human race, no matter what packaging it comes in. The person who shot the police officer is a scumbag. Let's call it what it is. The cops that killed Michael Brown are scumbags. The cops that shot that gentleman in Ohio for waving around a fake gun are scumbags. The guy who shot the two cops in December, the New York City cops, scumbags. I'm not calling it a black or white thing, even though what it is truly is a black and white thing. You look at the poem I saw, and they said, well, who cares about these black people dying? Cops can't go wrong. God knows they're just as human as any person of color that has broken the law 822 times, including stealing a annihilator on top of that. It's unfortunate that from the time we come out of the womb, we're taught that our differences matter. Our differences should be what makes us what we are, what makes us unique, what makes us interesting to each other. We should dislike each other only because a person is an ass, or a person is no good, or a person is an adulterer, or a person is a murderer, or anything, any fallacy in the human condition and human behavior that makes a person unlikable. So I'm kind of stuck, and on this episode, I'm kind of stuck because when it comes down to it, my heart grieves for this 25-year-old young man, and I can say young man because I'm 20 years older than he was, who lost his life for nothing. But what makes me even sadder is while this gentleman will get a much deserved, no, he didn't deserve to die, I take that back, a much deserved send off for his service as a police officer, no one shows outrage when people who look like me get killed, or people who had nothing to do with anything get killed. And just for those people who say, well, he's a criminal, to my understanding, criminals deserve a day in court, not eternity in a box. I send my condolences to that young man's family, because I truly and sincerely say, no matter what happens, all the things that are going on here is just absolutely senseless. Absolutely senseless. And that the sad thing is, lack of common sense doesn't give a rat's ass if you're black, white, purple, or gray. It seems to affect us all. From the rioters to the people who carry a badge who think they can get away with everything. This is Jarek Francis. I'm going to sign off. Hopefully I'll have more irrelevant things that are irritating on the next show. Obviously, if you have any ideas or suggestions, please contact me via the site. I would love to hear from you. Till then, it's Jarek Francis. This is the Irritation Channel, signing off. And God bless you all.